another approximately 20,000 on the outside spaces that we can program for different uses. So we'll use it on game days for football. When you get inside, you'll see it. This will be a tailgate center for us as well. Food and beverage and music and lots of opportunities on game day to have a lot of fun, again, in a climate-controlled environment. So really excited. Big, obviously, this is kind of the final piece of the 4+1 projects. The renovation of the east side of the stadium, brand new competitive pool at the aquatic center, brand new softball stadium, and then this building, along with our renovations at the lower level of McHale, and refurbishing and completely redoing locker room space and lounge space for our student athletes. So big day. So welcome. And I don't know if anybody has any things off the top. Any questions? We can walk in.
What kind of, did you have a reception, or you're having a reception?
We did. We just formally dedicated the facility with the Davises, and had our Wildcat Club members there for our pregame activities. As we do inside of McHale, we moved it all over here. So we had over 350 people with us today to formally dedicate the facility.
It went up pretty quickly, Dave. Good timing, everything with that satisfactory?
Good timing. The weather created a little bit of challenges. The rain and then the snow at the end, but it came up on budget and on time, so we're happy about it. A few little landscaping additions will take place, a little more fencing, some of the connection points you'll see to the outdoor practice fields, a little bit of refinement work. We've got to put some sod in that'll need to grow out there, but we're in a good place.
And who has access to this? Just the athletes, this is student athletes, just people like normal people?
Yeah, it'll be primarily used for our student athletes, for our teams and our student athletes to practice and train inside here. We'll do other events in here. Obviously, it's a huge space. When you get inside, you'll see it. And we'll do the pregame activities for games, but we'll also have the opportunity to host other events inside of here. It'll be another amenity during for our bowl game that we host here. There will be other events that will occur in here, and I would assume there'll be other potential sports opportunities. Our band can practice in here and when the weather's bad. Our sports clubs can come in here at times too. Again, all of our facilities are university facilities, so we'll try to maximize that and allow our students and our faculty and staff to use them as they can.
What has the perception been like from the student athletes that have seen this so far?
It's pretty incredible. It's been hard to actually keep them out. They keep sticking their head in the door, and they've just, it's remarkable. I think everybody, when they first walk in, says, wow. And we had a couple student athletes, a soccer player and a football player, talk about the importance of it, and they couldn't be more excited. Hey, it's an amenity too. When we talk about investing in our football program and the growth of that program, it's critically important that that's successful. And this is another investment in our football program and the ability for them to continue to move forward. There's a huge opportunity there to generate revenue that we can then utilize to support all of our programs. So this is a piece of that puzzle that we needed here at Arizona.
Will it be used at all before basketball or any McHale events as well?
I think, again, if we have opportunities to host big groups, it's a perfect space to do that.
Will it be available to rent in the general community?
We haven't made that decision yet, Greg. We'll have to see how we program the space and how, but first we want to serve, obviously, our sport programs, our campus users, and our students. And we'll see how that works, and I think that there'll be other opportunities to use the facility in a community way as well.
What about tailgating for football season? What's going to take part for that?
Yeah, we'll open this building. We'll have full access. We'll have some of our donor tailgaters will be in there for the Wildcat Club, but we'll have food and beverage and music and opportunities for fans to come in as well before the game. You'd need a ticket to the game to get in, but it would be open again for times when the weather's incredibly warm or we might have some rain. It'll be open. All right, let's go inside. All right. Okay. All right.
Just gotta follow Dave, hug at the right side there. Unless you want to do it.
You guys want to around the midfield first, kind of, or you want the perspective from here? No, we'll work that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Again, what's the number? 75,000 square feet?
Yeah, so 74.
74 and change square footage inside the four walls, the walls here of space. You can see we can host these kind of events. We've got a covered floor, flooring that we can cover the entire area. We'll get over that side, but it's connected to the practice field through those large garage doors. So again, we've got another whole space. We've got two 80-yard fields outside, this complete field inside to utilize on a daily basis. So the ability to be efficient, to move position groups in and out is going to be very, very beneficial from a football staff perspective, who were all in here today and really loved the building. So most of them, it was their first time in. All right, we'll walk down, head down to the end. Yeah. What's that?
Thanks for dressing up for this.
So the surface inside is virtually the same as what's in the stadium. Field turf surface, really forgiving. Actually, you hear a lot of players talk about how they enjoy this even more so than grass now. The technology's gotten so amazing. But this will be our connection point on game day. Right here, you can go. People will be able to exit here and go right across. We, as part of the renovation, built a brand new gate, public gate, expanded size, so people can go right back over to the football stadium. We redid all of the national championship along national championship drive there, all the new championship banners. A couple more for the ones we're going to win. So a couple of placeholders in there too.
Did you go somewhere else, a couple other places to kind of get an idea of what you wanted?
Yeah, we had visited a number of places that have indoor facilities. There's a few in the league that we've seen, obviously, from our chances to be into the north and see some of those schools. But we've been around to see a number of facilities over the last 2 years to get to this point.
This might be a dumb question, but what was maybe the best issue of this whole place, the best feature in your mind?
I think that the immediate connection point to the outdoor practice facility and the ease of movement for our players. Some are connected to the outdoor, but they've got to walk, across the street. I mean, they're not quite connected. They've got to walk across the street, or they've got to go outside the doors and get there. The garage doors being open and the ability just to flow back and forth. I think that's the best situation for football. So they can use it really efficiently. They don't have to break down and then wait, 10 minutes and then get resettled over here. They can be in here in a matter of minutes. I love the space, the really bright nature of it with all the glass we put in and the kind of the translucent stuff up at the top. Just, it's a bright facility all the time. Sometimes I think these facilities can get a little dark. I love that about it. I like the barrel roof. It actually gives you just a little bit more room than a peak roof at the higher points, and even in the corners along the sides. The peak ones tend to they go a little bit low on the side. So it makes the space feel so good. You can do virtually everything in here. You can punt a little bit, but you're gonna, when they really rip one off, it's gonna go up in there. And again, they'll punt outside, but you can kick off here. You can do all special teams. We obviously have the field goal extended down from the ceiling, so they can kick field goals in here. So works for everybody.
Did Coach Summer have much input on design, or is there anything he wanted that you guys were?
Yeah, obviously our football staff was involved from the very beginning on what was important Again, we have the geography, so we only had this much space, so we had to fit in what we could. We've got 6 at one side, and we're kind of right up against our cold tubs and the therapy tubs and everything. So there's a little bit of size. You couldn't go too much wider either, so we were kind of confined to that space. But yeah, it was about space and connection to the practice field, which is really important.
What's capacity?
I think capacity, I thought we were 4,000, between 4,000 and 5,000 people in a stand-up fashion can be in this. Now obviously when you do a seated event or you do some large event, that's going to reduce that capacity. But you can get to a 4,000 or 5,000. I think that's in their neighborhood, yeah. So
What kind of feedback do you get from the football staff? Just because these kind of things are becoming accessible at a high level.
they were genuinely excited when they walked in. And it's an important piece of the puzzle. When you talk about investment in facilities, investment in programs, it shows we are committed in a major way to this football program, and we want it to be successful. So I think that's what our coaches want. That's what our coaches want. Give us the tools so that we can have the best opportunity to compete in a really challenging league and in a challenging landscape in college football.
Did you come here often to come and see what the progress was and see kind of how the thing was going?
I did. It's obviously pretty close, and I park right across, and every day that I come in, my parking spot looks right at this plot of land, and so I did every morning watch it kind of come out of the ground. Some days I didn't want to look because after a couple of weeks it was like, hey, nothing's happening, so I had to purposely wait. But I did that at softball. I did that at the aquatic center too. It's kind of like when you're building a house, you want to go see what's going on, and it was neat to see it. And once the steel started coming out of the ground, boy, it really started to move quickly, and you got to see something different almost every day. So I love the graphics. I love how bold it is when you come in here. Again, if you're walking recruits out here, it says Arizona. It says this is important. So for when our coaches, all of our coaches bring student athletes in, I think they'll get excited.
Are there just restrooms down here? Any other closets or utility
restrooms?
spaces?
Yeah, we've got restrooms. Kind of I call it utility or our technology room. We do have a satellite training room, so we have vision of the field at all times, and a small little training facility, sports medicine facility. We have we can walk around that way out that patio. We have a small area for weight room, stretching, so our strength and conditioning staff can do, rolls out onto a patio. So we've got that. And on this side, we have 2 storage areas, one for all of our equipment, for the building itself, for football equipment, for their storage room, and the other half is for the event staff, primarily to store the elements that we'll need for the tailgate for events here. The flooring, some of the different pieces that we'll need to set it up.
Any other questions for Dave?
What else? You can walk across and look out that way if you guys want.
Around
Did you say this was I'm sorry, I missed what you said about the turf. Is it the same turf as the stadium? Or what is this?
Yeah, it's the same system as what's in the stadium.
Is it like
It's field turf.
Field turf?
Yeah, that's the
Name brand.
Do you plan on making this more visible, next players? Or
Yeah, there's. Thanks for bringing that up. We'll highlight our 5 College Football Hall of Fame members. We'll be up in between these sections here. Each one of them will have their individual panels. We have a couple more graphics that go up exclusively, with Arizona things. Primarily on that side, and then we have one more graphic that goes on. So those will come up. Yeah.
You said 5?
5.
Mark, you want to just go on camera for a sec and just talk about it real quick?
Yeah, let me read this shit on there.
All right, because ready? All right, Alec White and Mark Lawson here from the new indoor facility, live on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in. The $16.5 million Cole and Jeannie Davis indoor sports facility. Trying to zoom out a little bit. You don't need too much of a close-up of your face right now. Anyways, we're about 30 minutes from tip-off between Arizona Stanford, and we're getting the tour from Dave Heeke about this place. Mark, your first impressions?
I think it's going to definitely make us a factor in the Pac-12. I think, it's a big facility. Everything's state-of-the-art in here. The turf is exactly what they play on at Arizona Stadium.
Yeah.
So they just have a very state-of-the-art facility that can finally compete with these Pac-12 programs and finally, kind of wow recruits a little bit. I think when you first walk in, you definitely see that and kind of see, just the massiveness of it. And they're still doing a little bit of stuff to it, but, I mean, it's pretty much done for the most part now.
Right.
But I think it definitely makes us a factor in the Pac-12.
And then we got mostly it's going to be used for football. Tailgating, it's going to be a big factor. I think it'll enhance the game day experience and a lot of the player experience too.
Definitely. Heeke was talking about how if you have a ticket to the games, you'll be able to come in and tailgating here. They're going to do some tailgate stuff throughout the season. They're obviously going to have their donor sections and stuff like that, but for the most part, I think the casual fan can actually come and use the facility, which is something that's a big thing. You don't normally see something like that where a brand new facility, people are going to be able to use it. So I think the casual fan will be able to enjoy it just as much as the athletes and people like that. So everybody will kind of get their chance.
And it's the same turf that's used at Arizona Stadium. So from this experience of the football, it should be a good simulation for players.
Definitely good. Heeke was talking about he doesn't know if they're going to really be able to punt that effectively in here, but pretty much everything else you'll be able to do. You'll be able to kick. They have a field goal post that drops down from the ceiling, I think he was saying, which is kind of crazy. So I definitely can do everything you need to do, and definitely in the summertime when it's like 115 degrees outside, it'll be very useful to the football program.
We got a few stats they handed out. You want to just pick a few that stood out to you?
I think one of the cool ones is that you have the bay doors that access both of the fields.
Yeah.
Construction cost was $16.5 million. It's part of Arizona Athletics' capital campaign, which was $66 million for the 5 projects, which is the Aquatic Center, the east side of the stadium, Hillenbrand, and then the additional McHale Center renovations to the locker room.
And then we got a question from Eddie about the climate control. It is climate controlled.
It is climate controlled, yes.
So Heeke wasn't very specific as whether or not how high or low they can make it, but it is climate controlled.
Yeah, he didn't say much about what the temperatures are going to be, but it is climate controlled. So I don't know how cold I would expect it to go, but I mean, you can get it there if you need to. And then hotness, you don't need to worry about. So.
All right, well, we're going to finish up this tour. Signing off from Facebook Live, we'll have basketball coverage coming up.
Post-game. We do it all.
Post-game, yep. All right, Alec White, Mark Lawson tuning out from Daily Wildcat Sports.